What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, good people? You already know what time it is. This is your boy Ryan Walker, the historian. We getting ready to get it cracking tonight, talking about a lot of Falcon football and things that are going to be coming up this week for the Falcons defending the home turf against the Green Bay Packers. But before we bring this show to you, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button. If you are on YouTube, if you're on StreamYard, please, please, please click the link so we can go ahead and have you on board. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and bring this show to you. We got much love for you and a lot of stuff coming for you. Let's get it. BirdCage, it's official.
Okay, y'all, this is it.
What's going on? What's going on? We're in the building tonight. You already know how we get down. You either get right or you get left. The BirdCage, it is official, ladies and gentlemen. Let's ride with it. So before we get this thing started tonight, I'm going to go ahead and start bringing in the crew, the magnificent BirdCage crew, so we can go ahead and chop this thing up or whatnot, so we can make sure there's no misunderstandings on the topics tonight. So let's go ahead and get it, man. First up, we got K Dub coming to the building. Killer Killian, K Dub, what's up, man?
What's going on, BirdCage family, BirdCage listeners and subscribers? If you haven't told you, hit that like, subscribe, and share button for us. Gonna be a great content tonight. Gonna get into it about these birds, and glad to be in the building tonight. How you doing today, Mr. Historian?
Hey, man, I'm on the right side of the dirt, man. Life could be a little better, but it's always gonna be even better with them Falcons on Sunday. So it's just we're dragging feet right now, trying to get through the rest of the week, and we just trying to get to Sunday so we can enjoy this party line once again. I'm speaking that into existence. So
yeah, for sure.
Without further ado, you got to bring in the old man of the bunch. We got Graybeard, my man Glenn Smalls. What's going on, man?
How you doing today, sir?
Fella, what's going on with y'all? How y'all feeling?
Hey, man, like we say, another day, another dollar, time to chase that money, man. You know how it go.
Tell me about it.
Man, it's about it's about one of the peacefulest things we can do until we get into a heated debate about something. So you know how it go. But speaking of heat, I got to bring in the man that they call Meltdown. What's going on, Melton?
Hey, what's up? What's up, BirdCage? What's up, BirdCage family?
What's up?
We don't have any We don't have any mascots in the house tonight, apparently.
Not tonight. BirdCage is quiet here.
I think we should have just told. I think we probably should have just showed them a bottle of hot sauce and some light bread.
I heard that.
That's some Cajun seasoning, but you already know how it goes, man. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this. First thing that we're gonna talk about tonight, ladies and gentlemen, that are joining us. Thank y'all for joining us. Make sure before we jump into this, you hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Definitely trying to build up these followings so we can continue to keep bringing you content that we do every week, Falcon related and also on the perch related. Let's go ahead and get to it. We got the Packers and the Falcons this week. And the beautiful thing about this is we have two undefeated teams that are 1-0. Been a long time since we've started off a season with a win like this, and we can say, yeah, we undefeated. We coming into the house with no losses. Let's go ahead and measure this up. Green Bay last week had a phenomenal beatdown of the Chicago Bears at the expense of Justin Fields being rushed and just beat down. And their defense was awful. They come to Atlanta, it's their second road game, and they're coming into Atlanta. We know that their fans travel well. We've seen that. And let's just be real. We've got to let those people understand that you in our house. We're gonna make this feel real uncomfortable for you. So this is a game where we get to see our defense that pretty much played solid last week against a new offense with a brand new quarterback. Yeah, he's been in that system for a minute, but how many games has he started? So let's get to it. We're going to be looking for some top performances this week. But the first thing we're going to get to, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this a little different today. Meltdown, I'm going to start with you today, and then I'm going to go to K-Dub. We're going to bring it to Graybeard. Do a little something different today. Mix up the Kool-Aid a little bit. Jeff Okudah and Cordell Patterson, CP84, the Flash, is back. Yep. What is your analysis on these two coming back, and what do you think they can bring to the table? And what do you think their impact is going to be once they get a chance to get on the field?
I'd like to see Okudah coming back Sunday. I would like to. I don't know if he will. I mean, he's been practicing the past couple of days, but it's been limited. So will he actually get the game time Sunday? We don't know for sure if it's going to be ready. I want to see him. That was a big pickup this offseason. I'm ready for him. I want to see what he does back there with AJ.
Most definitely. And this is a game that you have CP84. We know we're going to keep him on a pitch count. We already know we got to keep those legs healthy because he's going to be a wild card for us in the postseason when we work through this. Yeah, it's a little rough, but I'm speaking this into existence. I'm a cockeyed optimist. My eyes are cocked like Debo and Friday. You're going to have to hit me with a brick of reality to set my eyes straight. So I'm on one tonight, man. But
yeah.
K-Dub, how do you feel with Jeff Okudah coming in? Now, Melton, you had definitely good insight with that, but I want to also hear K-Dub's insight on what do you think Okudah is going to bring to this secondary that was solid last week?
Well, I mean, just doing some research on it and listening to Mr. Gray's secondary coach's analysis on what's going on in the offseason. He's saying that he's one of the hardest workers out there. He hated that he got hurt and that he's first in the classroom, last to leave. So I'm excited, very excited. Like, to piggyback off of what Mr. Meltdown was saying, is that it was a big pickup for us. To get a guy that was taken, high in the draft, top 5 pick. So you have to have some kind of attributes to make you that high of a draft pick. So I feel like Gary coach is very excited, saying he's more excited about Okudah than he is AJ Terrell, because AJ Terrell is a consummate professional. He's stayed on the field and he's out there right now and he does his job. But as far as the guys that he's seen come in this offseason, he spoke very, very, very highly of Okudah. So he said that right now his mental concept, he's taking the mental reps. He said his mental concept is very there, because a lot of times when guys are hurt, they are not really mentally in the game because they're trying to get their body back from injury. So from what the coach Bray said is that he's very excited that the guys had the most improvement in the offseason, and he's very excited for him to show the fans what he's been working on and being a top flight and top tier cornerback in the league. and forming that duo with AJ Terrell on the other side. And in CP's estimation, if he doesn't get healthy, he'll be getting traded or something like that. I mean, CP knows your best ability is your availability. So getting up there long in the tooth is not great in his favor right now. I know we have a lot of people that are fans of CP, but it was a lot of circling rumors and dark clouds outside of the organization about it being a trade or possibly moving him from here. So that's still on the table. That's still on the burner, I believe. So don't hold on and grab onto your CP jerseys too tight, because he may not be here next season, because you see he's expendable with this running game that we have. He didn't play none at all last week. We didn't need him. So basically, I mean, just watch out. And like I said, injuries are going to happen throughout the season. We just try to limit them. And I pray that we get these guys back, because we need to be at 100% all throughout the season, to get through this long grind that we're going to be on. And going against the Chicago Bears, we're going to need all hands on deck. So I feel like we'll see what it is, got to manage those injuries. But for us, those guys coming back, I think that Okudah will be great once he comes back on the field.
Red Beard, what do you think about this, man? And they've already touched on Okudah. Trey Flowers came in and he held it down at that cornerback spot last Sunday. Had a penalty, I'll take that all day compared to what he brought to the table, where they were able to control the air. But this week they're going to be going against an air raid type of offense with Matt LaFleur. And Matt LaFleur was on our staff when we went to the Super Bowl under that Shanahan offense. So that West Coast spread type of offense where they're getting the ball to the playmakers and getting it out there. How do you think Jeff Okudah, because he's not in playing shape, he's got to get back into playing shape. You can get as many mental reps in practice. How do you feel the playing shape that Okudah, how long do you think it's going to take Okudah to get back into playing shape? And is he going to have an immediate impact? Because they're going to come right at him.
I think he's not going to have an immediate impact like you said. He had to get into game shape. Game shape normally take 2 or 3 games, man. You're not just going to hop into game one and be in game shape. That take time and take rep. With Jeff Okudah, man, along with AJ Terrell, along with Bankhead Bank, just make our secondary even more formidable and dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And more than likely, quarterbacks are not going to want to throw. So, having a Jeff Okudah, I would like to play, but I ain't going to rush him out there on that field, because we still have a long season ahead of us. And like K-Dub said, man, your best play on the field when you're on the field. So to me, if he still ain't ready to go, we can still hold it down. We can still hold it down with the players that we got. They held their own against Carolina. So I like to see that growth and development from our other players as well. With Cordell Patterson, I would like him to come back. I want to see him more in our return game, our special team, which I think we drastically need him because of his veteran, his flow, and him being able to turn length of the field around and give us better formidable field position, and what doesn't really have to be in the backfield.
Well, remember, we lost Avery Williams to an ACL injury, so Cordell Patterson's value increases tremendously. And here's the thing: we don't know what Avery Williams is going to be like next year. So I didn't want to chum you off on that one, Killian, earlier, but I'll say this: we don't know what Williams is going to be like coming back. We don't know if he's going to have the explosive speed that he once had. We don't know if he's going to be tiptoeing because he's still thinking about that knee. So Cordell Patterson still being here, I think he would take a team-friendly deal to remain here, because this is a place that he loves. He wants to be here in Atlanta. And let's just be real. It's not many players that want to come to Atlanta. Yeah, we had a good turnaround on Sunday, but there are not many guys that are trying to come to Atlanta because of the reputation and what we do. We have to start winning and making this place a very different. We have to make the culture very different here. And with the Falcons, not the city, with the football team, period. Once that culture changes into a winning culture, or a culture that's very competitive to the point where we're not just holding our own, we're actually able to compete with some of these top teams, that's when we're going to start getting the interest of guys. Hey, man, I don't mind moving down south. It's a lot cheaper. The weather's a lot nicer. And, hey, we ain't got to be outside. And honestly, I think that would be appealing to a lot of guys, but I think we got to start winning first. But I don't think CP goes anywhere unless a very, very lucrative offer is provided. But I don't think that they would want to get rid of a cornerstone like that who's not a locker room cancer.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not saying he's a locker room cancer. I'm just saying there were offers, and there are offers still on the table, possible. And they may.
Now, if the right offer comes, I say entertain it. If the right offer comes.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying we're gonna get rid of him. I'm just saying it's a possibility because we don't really need him at running back, unless one of our guys go down, but we got two young studs. I mean, so at this point, you're gonna keep him around to be a return guy that stays hurt right now in his career. I mean, just being.
But to cut the reason why he stayed hurt more mainly in the backfield. We overuse Cordell Patterson. Now you don't have to overuse Cordell Patterson. Now that you got a B. John Robinson, Tyler Algier, you can put him in the slot, but he can mainly be your return specialist on punt return and kickoff. So that way his leg will still be fresh throughout the season.
No, I mean he has value. That's why people are trying to trade for him. I'm not saying he don't have value. I'm not saying he doesn't have anything left in the tank. I'm saying the reason why we may decide to choose to trade him off because he has value and we can help our team down the line.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's still on the contract.
Yeah, but he can get traded.
His contract ends after this year, so that's why he was saying he might not get he might be gone next year.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it. I just think from a standpoint, Austin Smith like the Cordell Patterson, especially if he can utilize in certain packages with Bijan and Ty Tank, freaking Kyle Pitt, especially on the goal line, because you don't know where to go with that. And then, like I said, with kick coverage, he can flip a field and give a better field and whatnot. Because that way, they don't have to wing it the 25-yard line, the 30 or the 40, hell, even from the other side of the 40. So that's all I'm saying.
Well, we know what you're saying, but you keep cutting in and out. We got the gist of it, but you got to check your mic a little bit, bro. It was going in and out. It's all right. But while you checking your mic, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up. Arthur Smith dismisses the passing game woes and is very Matt LaFleur. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start with UK Dub on this one. Looking at it, the main thing about this offense is they don't need a gunslinger. Arthur Smith has already shown he needs a capable quarterback that's going to not turn the football over. The way we win games, not turning the ball over. We're going to get on to expectations with fans a little bit later, but a lot of people don't realize this. Arthur Smith is not going to try to turn the ball over. He's not going to take chances with throwing the ball, especially with the shaky pass protection that we have right now. But getting to it, he still had over 100 yards. He still had a touchdown pass with Bijan Robinson. So, in a sense, I think Arthur Smith is comfortable with where we're at. He's not listening to the outside noise. He's let the fans talk because they're fans for a reason. I get paid to win games. He won the first game, and now we're moving on to I'm not even going to call him his boss, but he actually was over him in Tennessee, Matt LaFleur, his former offensive coordinator, because he was a tight end position coach before he took over as Tennessee's OC. Now, with him having Matt LaFleur around and the familiarity, do you think we have an edge defensively because he knows how this man thinks? I want to hear your opinion on this. I already got mine. I'm going to bring it up after you guys go. But do you think that this edge that he has in being in that locker room and understanding the packages and personnel that he uses for certain plays, do you feel as if we're going to have an edge with Arthur Smith being familiar with that? And do you think this passing game opens up a little bit against this Green Bay defense?
Well, what I think is the situation is that we'll have insight on the way he thinks and the way he game plans. But once Arthur Smith hasn't been around him in a few years now, I mean, his playbook has evolved, and I'm sure he's worked on different things that Arthur Smith has no idea what he's worked on. So we'll have some insight, but his playbook has really evolved, and he's got around other intelligent assistant coaches that he has on his staff, and it's really the terminology probably has changed a little bit since Arthur Smith has been around. So I think we'll have some familiarity of how he thinks and how he may game plan a little bit, but I don't think it really will help us in that demand. I just feel like we got to do what we have to do, our side of the coin, and move forward, get the job done. I mean, we got to have the right game plan against those guys. I feel like the secondary is our strongest point of our team. So that secondary is going to handle business. I'm not worried about their receivers too tough. I think Okuda comes back, AJ Terrell out there, Bankhead Bates in the backfield, handling his business, and we're going to get it done. 2-0.
You might as well start calling AJ 24/7 because he's locking down the side like a bail bond, like he locking down that side or whatever and collecting his check like a bail bondsman, man. You know what I'm saying? We might as well call AJ Dog the Bounty Hunter, man. He getting to it. But
I like that.
So piggybacking off of that, what do you think, Glenn, that the thing is, what do you think the key is for Sunday with touched on the secondary? What do you think with the defensive side of the ball, with the front seven that we have? What do you think is going to be the key for these guys to be able to disrupt the offense that Arthur Smith has insight on and knows the tendencies of this guy? What do you think he's going to bring?
I think defensively, I think our second leading tackler on the team. I think we need to get more pressure up front, and our backers have to have containment because we don't know the status of Andrew Jones. We don't know if he's going to play or not. Still got freaking Dylan there that can get you a 4 or 5 yard pop. So, man, maintaining run game, and that means the big boys up front got to get pressure.
Okay. So Melton, I'm gonna ask you this here. Now he's talking about the big boys up front. When are we gonna see D'Angelo break out? When are we gonna see Arnold Ebiketie become, when he's already shed the 47, so we can't call him AK-47 anymore. When are we gonna see number 17 actually do something?
Well, I mean, we want to see him doing something this weekend, but I mean, we got to, piggybacking off of Glenn, they're going to be bringing some firepower with us. I mean, we don't know if Watson's going to be playing. We don't know if Jones is going to be playing, but Dylan's no slouch at backup either. I mean, he's running it hard too, and everybody's sitting back and they was thinking Love was just going to be a shaky quarterback. Next thing you know, he comes out and leads the league in passer rating last week, 3 touchdowns. I mean, we got to start getting some pressure on him.
Now, Anthony Moss, you just asked, you're curious what happens when we face a team that shuts down our run game. Okay, we're getting ready to face a team that. So I'm
now. Right.
Rose up, Ryan. But I'm talking about the defense the offense going against the defense. Go ahead.
So what we're gonna do is this. I'm gonna go ahead and address it. So let's be real. You're facing a front seven that made Justin Fields very uncomfortable all day because they couldn't protect him in pass protection. 7 sacks. 7. He was sacked 7 times. He was hurried about 20 times. So here's the thing. Our pass protection has to get better. We need a better center. Drew Dalman ain't it. Hate to say it. I'm sorry. Drew Dalman is not it. You got to go. I know Bergeron is a young kid. You got to go ahead and throw him in there. You got to put Hennessy at center where he was at Temple.
Iggy,
You have to, you got to change it up.
Iggy
You
hurt.
have to change it up. So with you changing things up, you have to look at it like this. If we can't protect Desmond Ridder, he can't throw the ball. We apparently saw him drop that ball in the bucket last Sunday with him and Pitts putting it inside the red zone. You give him a little bit of time, he's going to sit there and pick you apart and he's going to hurt you. And the other advantage we have is, as what my guy Scoop is bringing up, Jerry Gray was the defensive back coach. So their passing game, he got to see that every day in one-on-one drills. He got to see that in different drills and different packages that they were practicing. He got to see that. So it's a copycat league. It's just the fact that, can we stop what they're doing? That's the question. Can Ryan Nielsen dial up pressure like he did in New Orleans, or dial up pressure at the right time of the game to make a play? Who knows? We'll definitely see on Sunday.
I agree, man. I think the pass protection is pivotal in this game. We have more than a second to freaking go through a progression, man. If we give this man, he can pick apart a defense, but we got to get that protection. And I'm challenging Arthur Smith to utilize every player that he got, from John Smith, the Kyle Pitt, the freaking the Drake London, every Captain Caveman, to go out there and leave a little to relieve a little bit of Desmond Ridder in the pocket as well. Come running back, come bubble screen, something, man.
Well, we were running bubble screens last week. We were running that stuff last week, Glenn. So let's be real. We can only run tunnel screens and bubble screens, but for so long. You're going to have to throw the ball downfield. You're not going to be able to sit on that. You're not. And the thing is, Dave Ragone has got to get in Arthur Smith's face. He cannot be a jellyfish. He's got to say, listen, I get that you want to relive the Joe Gibb days. I get that you want to relive those Washington Redskins of the 80s, of having a John Riggins type of running back and a doggone George Rogers in the backfield and a Clarence Harmon and a Joe Washington in the backfield, your scat back. Yeah, I get it. But remember, you had Art Monk, you had Gary Clark, you had Charlie Brown, you had guys that could get there. Joe Theismann was a guy that won the MVP. Everybody just knows him for breaking his leg. Let's just be real. You have to be in a situation where you have to throw the ball and you have to make Ridder comfortable and don't just put him on the spot to just throw the ball. It's not going to happen that way.
I mean, we got the weapon to field. We just
give them cheating up, play action. We got to be heavy play action, man. That's what I feel like we are. We are running team. We're going to run it down your throat. And when you cheat up, when you put 8, 9 blocks, we going deep. That's it. That's the plan.
Well, Anthony, we addressed it. Here's the thing. He brought in Bergeron. I think he should have. To me, I feel like this. I think we should have brought in another offensive lineman as well. That's just me. I would have. And here's the thing. I get that everybody's excited over Bijan Robinson, but let's be real. When you're drafting your offensive lineman, you're a great player. No, you get some sleepers that come through the 4th and 5th round. You do, but your franchise offensive lineman, like a Jake Matthews, that's solid, consistent, year in and year out, and is always available, comes in the 1st or 2nd round. Point blank, period. He took Bergeron. But I think we should have had another offensive lineman that should have been taken in the draft. I think we should have taken a center, if you ask me.
Man, look at Dallas. Dallas drafted 2 offensive linemen a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. He's an offensive line guru. Yes, they say he's an offensive line guru, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I think his offense in Tennessee was already put in place before he took over. I'm not calling the man a guru because he was a tight end coach. He played offensive line at North Carolina for Mack Brown. They were solid, but they weren't that good when he was there. Let's just be real on that. So when you talk about a guy, he knows the position, but apparently Chris Lindstrom was a very good pick that we had. We got McGarry. He had a couple of penalties. He's going to come around eventually. Slow start. But You missed with Dalman. I'm sorry. Dalman's a guy that you just missed on. He got to go. And then you have Matt Hennessy. You're playing him out of position. I think Hendall need to go ahead and be at that center spot. Even though he's a good guard, we need somebody that's going to be reliable and that's not going to get blown up like we saw last week.
They actually meant with freaking Mayfield. I was gonna wait till the freaking pick. Let you.
Well, we're not speaking on him because he ain't hitting no more. So it's no need to even mention that name. That he didn't even make it out of his rookie contract before he got shipped out of here.
Wait up a pick. Cause that could have went somewhere else. I'm just saying.
Well, we got a habit of that. But we're gonna move on to this next topic, gentlemen. Next thing we're gonna talk about, since we were talking about using weapons, the red zone success. We're at 100% right now. We scored every time we went in the red zone, which is rare, but this is actually a good thing that we got to see Atlanta. Every time we got in the red zone, we scored points. Every time. So with the 100% efficiency, I'm gonna let Killian start this one. K-Dub, 100% efficiency. How long has it been since we've had that?
Boy, it's been a while. I'm gonna say it's probably been at least 6-7 years or something like that. Probably Super Bowl run during that time. So
yep.
It just feels good to be in a good place. We can keep on trying to play devil's advocate on ourselves and keep believing that we're the same old Falcons, but we have been wanting to know it so long that hey, look, get used to some winning, man. I'm predicting we're going on a winning streak. So we can't go on a streak if we lose this week. So I just say just continue to give faith into the coaching staff we put together. I know you don't really have a lot of faith in Arthur Smith, Mr. Historian, but I do. I think he's going to get it done. So, I mean, we are basically on two sides of the fence on that one.
It's not about having faith. It's about what are you doing? It's not about having faith. Here's the thing. You're showing me who you are. That's what you're doing. You're showing me who you are. I'm taking you at face value because since day one, it's been like this. It's a process. It's turning over. But it's not that I don't have faith. You got to prove that. And it's just like a relationship. You know, you got some married folks in here. You got some folks that's in serious relationships. Let's be real. When you talk about trust comes with your actions. If your actions are not meeting up to what you're saying, you're gonna be people gonna look at you sideways. But if you've been in a position, but let's be real. But here's the thing: when you've had the chance to have the division in your back pocket, you understand what I'm saying?
Our hands were tied. You know that our hands
were tied, but we were doing this in a weak division. Think about it. We could have been in the playoffs last year. We blew 4 games last year because of stubbornness. Let's be real on that, dog.
Right?
Them 4 games probably.
And those 4 games would have given us the division, and also would have put us in the playoffs.
First game of the season.
And I'm not even just speaking on that because think about it. The last 2 years, 2022 and 2021,
no playoff last year. Y'all know that. Everything happens.
No, but here's the thing. It's the fact that him getting there. He had a chance to get there 2 years straight.
I feel like we're better equipped to make a playoff run now than we were the past 2 seasons.
I think
we'll agree to disagree on that. Then I just feel like
that's fine. We can. I have no problem with that. But at the end of the time, since he's been here, even with him being handcuffed with a weak division that we play in, you know, this is pretty much. How can I describe it? It's like you having a pot of collard greens without salt in it, without fat back or a smoked turkey neck in it. You know what I'm saying? You have no flavor, you have no seasoning or whatnot. You literally just kept it bland. You didn't jazz it up. You didn't do anything. And I get we were holding the team together because I've been saying it for the longest. We was holding this thing together with paper clips, duct tape, toothpicks, and bubble gum. I've been saying that for the longest. But when you're in a spot like Arthur Smith is in, you have to honestly look at the fact that your track record is who you are. Even though you had players, you're a coach. Your job as a leader is to get people not to do what you want them to do. It's your job to get the best out of them to put them in positions to get the mission accomplished. He didn't get that done. He's got a chance to do that this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, for Arthur Smith, for me, I just think sometimes he doesn't utilize all his players.
Hmm.
That's why
Well,
I mentioned
I
him
missed
now.
him in and out. Hold on. Who's cutting in and out? Yeah, somebody's cutting in and out.
It might be Glenn. Okay, so Glenn.
Yeah, that's Glenn.
Sorry, listeners and subscribers, but yeah, but to not lose my thought on the Falcons. I mean, the thing with the team is that, hey man, Arthur Smith is, he said he doesn't utilize his players. I feel like he needs to give up that play calling, like I've been saying, for the longest. I feel like he got a good playbook, but he's maybe overthinking the play call or whatever he's doing. You're not calling it the right way. I know the players know the plays. I know the quarterback knows the playbook, but let you oversee the whole organization like everybody. You be able to critique the defensive coordinator, be able to critique your offensive coordinator, be able to critique your special teams coordinator, be able to be an overseer instead of just sitting back and calling plays. I know that's your bread and butter, but to be a head coach, I need to be able to see everything. That means you may can be able to talk to some players, maybe see if they're down or they're not giving their all. Maybe you can go into those players' faces and maybe you can get something out of them so they can go a little bit harder in the second half or the next quarter or whatever it may be. But you need to give up the play calling and trust somebody on your staff to call those plays. And I think you'll see a big difference in some of those calls that are made and then some of those packages that are being called.
But here's the thing, though. Dave Ragone has been calling the plays. Everybody keeps saying, oh, Arthur Smith. No. Arthur Smith A-OKs it, but Dave Ragone puts those packages together. Dave Ragone is literally the one that's putting this stuff together and is calling this stuff. Arthur Smith is just saying, okay, run it. Or he's saying, no, we don't want to run that. Everybody keeps saying that, but here's the thing. If Arthur Smith was going to have play calling, there's no use for an offensive coordinator that's just stealing a paycheck.
Well, I thought a
lot of people ain't thinking about that.
Coordinating with him, like he may give him, certain things he worked on for the week, or he's been scouting and things on the next team. He said, "Maybe this may work right here, coach. This is what we want to use next week." I thought that was because it looks like Arthur Smith is calling plays on the sideline. I'm just saying that's what it looks like.
It looks like that, but here's the thing: we got two people from that Bears like we've infused Atlanta with Chicago and Tennessee. We've literally infused Atlanta with Chicago, Tennessee, and a piece and a smidget of New Orleans with Terry and with Ryan Nielsen. Let's be real. Some of the players they brought, but let's be real. You bring in Ryan Pace, and then you're also bringing in freaking Dave Ragone, who literally was awful in Chicago, awful, and you're bringing that in here to trust that with a young quarterback, and he destroyed Mitchell Trubisky. I'm not a Trubisky fan like that, but I'll be honest, ever since he left Chicago and went somewhere else, he's been solid. Not saying that he's going to blow the numbers out. He's a serviceable backup, but you literally didn't help that kid enhance his skill set at all.
No, that may be the downfall to his firing, bringing in because that was like, somebody he trusts or whatever, like maybe a friend hire. That's what I feel like. In that with Dave Ragone hired, that may be the downfall to him getting fired, is bringing in the wrong staff to go alongside of you. So that's just my opinion on that. I'm not a Dave Ragone fan. I mean, I do like Arthur Smith, but I'm not a Dave Ragone fan. But he's here, so I'm trying to support him. We'll see how he calls the game this week. I feel like, just like I said last week on the show, that we had a lot of rust. We didn't play enough in the preseason to knock off that rust. They're going against live competition against different colors in different cities, that we're going against in the preseason. So we're going against ourselves, thinking that we smelling ourselves like we done did something. We haven't did anything. So let these guys get some reps. Let these guys, get some chance to go after some other quarterbacks. Let a chance to see that defensive pressure go, with the starters out there. But I just felt like by week 3, you'll really see the real Falcons. I just feel like we were still knocking off Russ to be 1-0. That's a good step forward. It wasn't the best and the cleanest 1-0 game by far, but to be 1-0 and be able to have a chance to go 2-0 is a great spot in the NFL because a lot of teams look rusty across the league, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Here's
the thing. I'll take an ugly win all day over a pretty loss. I'll take that all day because the wins add up, and the wins is what's gonna get us to that next round. You understand what I'm saying? So with that whole situation that we've got to figure out a way to infuse this tight end that we've drafted at round number 8, and we also got to use John Smith, the other tight end who we brought in through free agency. And you have to use Captain Caveman, and you also got to use Drake London in the red zone. You have a basketball team where you can scheme up plays to where you can use their height, size, and pretty much that advantage of most of them boys play basketball. These tall receivers that we have, most of them cats play ball. So they understand how to box out and how to post up. So if you get somebody to box out and post up on these corners that are short, hey, you got a shot. You have a shot.
I'm so use John Smith more in the red zone. I'm very shocked that we didn't use him much in the red zone in the last game. Hopefully we get to use him more in this coming weekend game because, like you don't trade and don't use them.
Yeah,
with this game 1, I just feel like maybe the offensive. I mean, not the offense, but the defensive coverage didn't dictate us going to him because sometimes you don't know the coverage, the spacing and all that, and the concepts of what they're trying to run and what their game plan was set for. So I just feel like if week 2, week 3 go by and we haven't used Johnny Smith or some of these other guys in different packages for different teams and different game plans, then we can have some ridicule. But I mean, I just feel like in one game, we got by, and we probably didn't even open. We didn't open all the pages. There's still some pages need to be turned in that playbook. I'm just saying. I mean, to get by 1-0 with going against a rookie quarterback, we probably didn't need much. Or going against the Panthers. So this week, going against a lot more formidable foe, we may need all the playbook. We need to pull out some tricks and some everything to get to win. So
the moment you start pulling out gimmick plays, that means you pretty much have nothing left, and you have nothing fundamentally. So there's no need for them to pull out gimmicks. I don't even think they should do. I'm just saying because a lot of people are saying trick plays. I think we should. Here's my thing: if we're gonna use a trick play, I would say using it hit New Orleans with it. If there's anybody we hit with it, you know what I'm saying? Because
we haven't opened up the whole playbook. It just plays we haven't used. They trick now.
But we can't open up that playbook if we can't protect Desmond Ridder in that backfield or open up holes for these running backs to run inside because we're not going to be able to run to the perimeter all season. They got to be able to open up holes on the inside.
I just feel like it goes back to the rest. I'm going to stick to that. I just feel like those guys probably could play better, but it's just like college football. From week 1 to week 2, teams play better. So I feel like it's the same way in the NFL. From week 1 to week 2 to week 3, you're going to play better. So they hold these guys out doing load management and all these with these athletes now. They have a full football shape. So it takes them about week 3 to week 4 to be in tip-top football shape and to be playing top-notch football, in my opinion.
Well, the NBA already came out with a rule where they chart. If everybody saw it on ESPN, they stopping that load management stuff. They actually making guys play, and guys are gonna get charged money for not even being hurt and trying to take off or whatnot because it's hurting their business financially. So eventually you're going to have guys faking injuries and paying doctors to write letters. Don't think that's not going to happen in the NFL. There's going to be some dudes that's going to do some load management. But moving on, we're going to go ahead and bring up the next topic for the night. You guys, we were just talking about this. And the key to the red zone success is going to predicate off the offensive line. The offensive line versus Green Bay's front seven. Green Bay's front seven was one of the top lines in the league. You're talking about pass rush. You're talking about run stopping. And in the red zone, they're good with stopping teams from scoring. This is something that we're going to have to – this is where Arthur Smith is going to have to become creative and he's going to have to open up some stuff because if that run game is not working, who are you going to use in that end zone outside of Bijan Robinson, your new toy, who you're trying to really get the fans on board? I feel like this. Quit trying to get all the fans on board and just win ball games. You'll get more fans on board. You keep winning games. Start putting the ball in the end zone and stop targeting just one guy. Spread it around.
I agree.
That's how you beat that That's how you beat that defensive front seven. That's just my opinion.
They're good too. They're real good.
I don't want to see a 3rd and 9 rerunning the ball with Bijan Robinson. I don't want to see that. We got too many weapons on him to go 3rd and 9, counter play and think they're gonna get. Ain't gonna happen.
I mean, hey, look. I mean, the thing is, you guys got to continue to remember we are a running football team. That's our MO this year or this season. So he may run it on 3rd down because he got an ego. You know, guys, we have egos. He want to prove it that we can run it down your throat on 3rd and 9, and we might just do that. So don't be surprised. We might just get it.
Here's the question I got for you. Now you're a religious man like myself. You know, we've talked about it. I don't know who everybody believes in, but we're religious men. But we know the good Lord speaks on this. Pride comes before the fall. And hold up. Pride comes before the fall, my brother. Let me get in my reverend mode. Welcome to the BirdCage congregation today. I'm going to be speaking on pride. My name is Reverend Walker. We going to be passing the collection plate around here for y'all. Today we got Deacon Killian up in the stand, up in the pulpit with me. We got the usher, Mr. Melton, that's going to be passing that plate. And we got Deacon Gray over there in the cut. So let's talk about it. Arthur Smith is in a situation, ladies and gentlemen. His pride has come before the fall. His pride came before 4 losses last year, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about it. We didn't have no money, but now we got the collection plate to pass around, ladies and gentlemen. We paid a defense to come in here. You've got to be in a situation where you start using your tight ends. You were known for using your tight ends in Tennessee outside of Derrick Henry. Go ahead and stick to that scripture, brother. Put that ball in the end zone with your tight ends.
Amen.
Start passing that collection plate, ladies and gentlemen.
Preach.
I had to cut up, man. I was thinking about church just now, man, for a second.
Well, that was a good impression of a pastor, but yeah, you know,
I'm a jackleg preacher. I can't say I'm a good one. I'm a jackleg preacher, so you know, y'all got to forgive me. I had Parliament playing in the background a little earlier, so I was backsliding for a minute. So y'all forgive me, congregation.
I'm just trying to break Great Beard's fall over there because he's putting all this pressure. I'm telling you, you know he's gonna pull some mess. I think the right call because I can see him, you know, on a 3rd and 8 running the ball just to prove that he can run it. But I understand what the historian is pointing to. So he is very stubborn, but I can see that happening. I hope he does use that passing game that we brought those receivers in. But we know our offensive line just pass blocks better than it run. I mean runs blocks better than pass blocks. I mean, if you look at the tape, you see it.
Look at Andy Reid in the in 3rd day. His pride got on it in 4th and 25. Instead of kicking the ball with 3 timeouts, and all back. Like, and get what happened.
You might repeat yourself. You was breaking up right there, Graybeard.
My bad.
We gonna have to bring you back in here, man. Come on back in here, brother.
All I heard
we're gonna have to bring him back in. I'm not gonna cut him on that because he was starting to cook. He got to get back in here, man.
But yeah, he was saying something about Andy Reid and what Andy Reid did, but you can't compare 2 different men to each other. It's like you trying to compare
Andy. But Andy had a really good defense in Philly when he was there. If you look at it, think about it. Andy Reid, the whole time he was in Philadelphia, his defense was always in the top 5. Always. And they were always making deep playoff runs. He goes to Kansas City. His whole philosophy changed. It changed. Let's be real. Andy Reid became part of an air assault that literally started to change the game. Alex Smith started it for him, and then Patrick Mahomes has literally crowned this man with 2 Super Bowls and one appearance, 3 Super Bowl appearances, and 2 wins out of those 3 appearances. So let's just be real on that, fam. You're right. The game changes over time, but Andy Reid was a run heavy type of coach, just like Arthur Smith was in Philly.
Yeah, Donovan McNabb and them boys.
Yeah, I feel like it goes by your personnel, man. I mean, Donovan McNabb was a great quarterback, and Patrick Mahomes.
Don't tell nobody in Philly that they don't look. A lot of these people up here still hate McNabb.
Well, I'm not from Philly, so I'm taking my opinion.
Yeah, we see it from a different perspective. So yeah,
great quarterback, and also Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback. So the fact that it remains is they have 2 different sets of attributes. Everybody has their different traits that So you build around the quarterback that you have. So he built around the quarterback he had in Philly, which is Donovan McNabb. That's what he built that team around. This team is built around Patrick Mahomes, which he has a dynamic arm, can throw from all kinds of different platforms, and can create off script at any time. So that's what this playbook is designed for. Every player in the league or quarterback in the league is not capable of making those type of plays. So that's why their playbook is not designed like that.
I'm not trying to make that freaking Smith and Andy Reid. What I was saying was, if it's 3rd and 9, you're not going to run the ball, especially if they got like 7 to 8 in the ball. That's all.
I was hoping we would play action. That's what I was speaking upon earlier, is being a heavy play action team, because you can make it look like a run, have it set up like a run.
But here's the question: But who's gonna block these guys when they're crashing down? Because the problem is Ritter doesn't have a chance to even turn around and take one step into his throw.
Yeah,
and we saw that. We saw that. Everybody was sitting there saying, "Oh, well, Ritter can't do this. Ritter can't do that." You can't throw from your backside. Marcus Mariota proved that last year.
Yeah, he's only getting 2 seconds to throw. I mean,
really 1.5.
Well, you better go for those reads pretty quickly then, because you don't have a line. You don't not afforded the luxury to have all day back there in that pocket. So you got to have a quick hot read on each play to where you want to go with that football.
And Green Bay's defensive line, man, they're really good. I mean, we gotta come with our A game Sunday. I mean, that's no kidding.
Do we know the status on Walker? I think he's in a concussion protocol.
Yeah, so wait a minute. You say who?
Quay Walker.
We'll actually get that information soon enough later out this week, because I haven't seen anything new about it, but I've heard that he's getting checked out, but they haven't made it official yet. So we won't know. But speaking of this offensive line going against this defensive line, we're going to switch to the guys that stole the show on Sunday. Tyler Algier is still going to put his best foot forward, regardless of Bijan Robinson getting drafted 1st round, because let's be real, Algier broke a William Andrews record that's darn near 40 years old. And he did it sharing carries. He'd have obliterated that record if he was starting right out the gate. He'd obliterate it. So for a guy to break a 40-year-old record as a rookie, and he was sharing carries with 3 different guys, hey, all I can say is this: that man said he got something to prove. 2 touchdowns on Sunday, and then you talk about the way he ran the ball, letting people know, like, hey man, y'all were cheering me, and now y'all wanna forget about me. Now y'all not gonna forget. I'm gonna remind y'all who I am.
Yeah, he was getting over 5 yards of carry.
Exactly.
It wasn't no fluke. I think he proved that to a lot of people too. Last year ain't a fluke when you come out the first game of the year as a backup behind Bijan and come out busting 5.5 yards of carry and then running over people. I mean, he was shouldering them, running through them. He was a man possessed.
Bouncing all people up every minute of it.
The game has slowed down for him tremendously. He doesn't have that rookie, as they would say, that first year push or whatnot, where you don't see things in the speed of the game. Because here's the thing, he's all for supporting Bijan Robinson. He's all about having a good room. He says he doesn't see in the article that they posted on the Atlanta Falcons website, and also he was quoted on in the newspaper. He said, "Look, I don't see this as a competition. I see this as where we're gonna push each other we're gonna feed off of each other. He does well, I'm cheering for him. I'm doing well, he's cheering for me. We're trying to have a good balance between both of us. Have a solid backfield because we're gonna be sharing carries, and we got to try to help each other out because we want to win. Period. So I know the team cohesion is there, but at the same time, that man looking at, hey man, I was here first. That's how he's looking at it. And if anybody played any sports, you understand the competitive side of the game. So you're going to sit there and make it hard for this guy to even be the man in the city.
I like it. I like it, man. He still with that same fix that he did last year. He bouncing for his first two, seeing how he just bounced out and the last straight through the middle, all power. I loved it.
Gillian?
Well, like I said, Algier knows what he has in that bank. I mean, I just feel like it's just like the college system. I mean, it really is not like old school where you just have a ground and pound got 25, 30 carries running back. I mean, this league is about having a rotation. So Algier was in a rotation last year. He just ended up getting over 1,000 yards because our running back got hurt. The injuries placed him in that position to succeed. But he's basically made himself valuable to the organization now. So that's why they just gave him some help with the heavy lifting. So now you have Algier and you have Mr. Bijan Robinson. So it's basically the rich just get richer in that sense. That's why we're gonna run the ball so heavily. That's why we're gonna do it, because most teams don't have that luxury and they have those two type of dynamic type of backs. So we're gonna utilize him. He's looking like I got a Derrick Henry plus some. So it's like we're gonna throw the football, but it's gonna be based off of what the defense is showing us. If the defense does line up 8-9 in the box, we'll play action off of it. It'll be looking like a run. I want everything to look like a run, and then we have passes coming off of it or a run coming off of it to try to continue to confuse and discombobulate the defenses over there, and we can succeed in the long run.
Shout out to Coach Brant. He's stepping into the chat. He just, he's out handling business or whatnot. He'll be back in the great state of Tennessee soon, if he hadn't already made it back, because he was rushing on the business trip. Shout out to our guy, Coach Brant. But getting back to it, I agree with you on that. But at the same time, it's kind of like, I think Tyler Algier is having that moment where he's letting Atlanta know, and I'm going to quote the great Andre 3000, better known as Three Stacks, the legend. The South got something to say. Algier said it like this: I got something to say. He letting you know he got something to say. He ain't walking away.
I love it.
Wait, why would he walk away? He already said something to say.
No. I'm saying he's not gonna go out without a fight. That's what I'm saying. He ain't walking away and just handing that job.
And I love it.
He had something to say when he broke their record.
Hold on, we had somebody trying to chime in. Hey, we're not letting anybody on. It's just the magnificent BirdCage crew tonight. So I'm just making sure I let you know. That's why we didn't provide a StreamYard link tonight. But the other thing we're gonna jump on is this. We have, what's old boy's name? So I'm looking at the Green Bay injury status before we get to this next topic right now. Quay Walker is questionable. Romeo Doubs is questionable, hamstring. Then you have Christian Watson. He's questionable with the hamstring. And then you have Aaron Jones. He's questionable right now with the hamstring. So you got two guys with hamstring injuries, and they're questionable right now.
I'm going to say they're not.
They're questionable. So you got three offensive weapons that they have that, they're going to probably end up being a game time decision.
I agree.
They'll be a game time decision. But at the same time, you got to practice like they're going to be there, because if they do show up and play, you got to be prepared for them. But getting to this next topic that we have, fans expect more from Desmond Ridder. We've had to listen to all the BS this weekend, all this week, last weekend. Nobody can be happy about these boys winning the game. First game of the season at that. We had a game in the bag last year in the first game, and we pissed it away. Period. So looking at it from this standpoint, you got a guy who has not turned over the ball in his first 5 starts at all. When are we gonna actually start appreciating the fact that we got somebody that's not a turnover machine? We could have Josh Allen throwing 3 interceptions in a game where they're giving up field position, they're giving up possessions for that offense. They're out of sync. We got a guy who's not gonna turn over the ball. Smart decisions with the football. No, he's not going to be a Michael Vick type of running quarterback. He's not. He can run when he needs to, but Dez is a guy that's not going to turn over the ball. He's going to make good decisions with the football, and he's going to get guys that are the playmakers in position to make plays. You just got to give the kid time. This is his first season starting. What do you expect from him? The man is just getting his feet wet. Can't judge somebody off 5 games. And he's undefeated at home still, if y'all want to go to that. From college up until now.
I mean, I guess they want this man to be damn right. And I mean, look, man, the man with 15, that man still had a high freaking QB rating. So, I mean, he's not to wow you, but he will command it. So if he winning and doing, just let the man do it, please.
Well, here's the thing. I was trying to bring Milton in because he had something he wanted to say, but
My bad.
is what it is.
No, hey, it's good, guys. It's good, but you know how I feel. I mean, I put up the stats the other night. His stats were better than Josh Allen's till overtime, and Allen had that drive, and they still lost. He won the game. Burrow didn't win. Allen didn't win. Mahomes didn't win. All these high-flying QBs didn't win. They all having interceptions left and right, especially Allen. And then you got Ritter in here managing the game well, no turnovers, doing what he needs to do. We come out with the dub.
I mean, like I said, piggyback off what both of these guys said, man. Ritter's going to do what he has to do, man. He don't have to do much. The heavy lifting is done by these running backs. You manage the game, get us in the right sets, know which side we're running to, be able to audible and change the play when you need to change it to. If the heavy side changes to the other side, it's really set up for you to win. It's really set up for you to succeed and to be able to read those defenses and use that play action because we're gonna run the football to keep picking out the thing I keep saying. I don't want to keep going in the circle, but that's our identity.
Yeah,
football. We're gonna run the football. So Ritter just has to be very accurate. He does football, be very accurate, and be very self-conscious. And like I said, be just to protect the football. You're gonna have some picks that happen with deflections, balls get deflected, things like that happen. I mean, he's not gonna just go, no interceptions all season, but just be smart with the football. I mean, I do like
but
that.
here's the thing. But here's the thing. You expect him to be perfect. Not saying you, but fans expect this man to be perfect, but y'all don't let him get in a rhythm. Y'all don't give him a chance to throw the football. You have to understand, he is a precision quarterback. He has averaged from the time he's played high school ball up until now. A quarterback's completion percentage never changes. That's something that stays the same. It either gets better or it gets worse. Ritter has over a 65% completion percentage. He's averaged damn near 70% with his completions through his whole career. So just think about that. 70% completion percentage, averaging in between 65 to 70%. That is very good for a quarterback. Very good. That means he doesn't turn the ball over much.
And he had a couple of big catches called back over penalties last week too, or the stats have been even better.
And he got good hands on his first pass.
But here's the thing. You got to let him get into a rhythm. You can't just call a pass play after you run it 30 straight times and think that he's going to complete a pass. He's got to have the timing down. He's got to have game speed with his receivers to understand how to get that ball to him in certain situations. Arthur Smith has to find that balance. That is the difference between him and his mentor, Joe Gibbs. Gibbsy knew how to have a balance. Arthur is still trying to figure that out. But you can't have a balance if your offensive line cannot protect in pass protection at all. And that forces us to run the ball 30, 40 times a game.
Yeah.
So, but getting to this next topic, we got finally, we're gonna go ahead and talk about Troy Anderson with concussion protocol. He's gonna be out Sunday due to concussion protocol, protecting him. It sucks, yes. But do we get to see an appearance from D'Angelo Malone on Sunday to rotate in with this defense with Bud Dupree and Arnold Ebiketie? Are we gonna see the young man fight the hometown kid finally get a chance to step in and show some of the flashes that he had in the preseason? Are we gonna give him an opportunity? Any one of you guys can answer. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, and like I say, we got guys on the bench, man. I mean, like I said, you haven't seen them because you got somebody in front of them. All you need is an opportunity. So hopefully they seize the moment. I hope the moment's not too big for those guys. I'm not sure exactly who they're going to put in that place, but I think they deserve a shot. I mean, we draft them. We got to see what we have in them this year in their sophomore season. So I have nothing but utmost, and I just want to see what's going to happen for them. I mean, I want to hope that they do work out, but if not, we got to go back to the drawing board, go back to the draft process, and go pick someone else. But we'll see. I got to put a we'll see on it because I don't want to speak highly. I haven't seen them in practice. I've seen enough of them this year to know exactly what they're going to do. But hopefully they're chomping at the bit and some eager beavers to get out there and go and make some plays.
Well,
yeah, I think Troy played well last Sunday. Had a sack, tackle for loss, tackles. I mean, I think with double-digit tackles. We just need these young guys they're going to come in, step up, play hard, just like he would. Be there, Bud Dupree. I mean, keep them coming in, see what they got.
I think we're gonna get Malone. I'll go like Bud Dupree, man. I think he's been high condition, ain't that tough, and you can't downplay that when we stop them from in the first quarter, man. Him and Go Carter, I like for our linebacker. I think Malone, he gonna shine. He already know his window limit. We don't know when Troy Anderson gonna come. He gonna make him know it.
well, here's my thing. I think the key to that, now that Troy Anderson is out, you got to put him in. You got to put him in a place, and you got to use him because Caden Ellis is going to be doing his thing. Bud Dupree, Lorenzo Carter, but you got to let the young guy get his feet wet because here's the thing: these old cats are not going to be around that long at all. They're not going to be around long. So you got to start working these young guys in with these older guys and let them school them while they're there because they can see what they see. They can tell them tell them how to attack certain things because they already have that experience. You can't just let a guy just sit behind and not get any experience because it's one thing to read a book, but it's another thing to get OJT. Anybody that's been in the military understands. You go through boot camp, you're given your rules, your regulations, you're taught about UCMJ, and you do all of this stuff. You go through your A school or your AIT training or whatnot. You go through all of this, then you go to the field. You get what we call OJT. Everything that they teach you does not a lot of the stuff, the basic fundamentals apply, but when you get out there, you have to improvise majority of the time. Period.
Yeah.
Anybody knows this, from chefs to military personnel to now you're talking professional football. So I feel as if we're gonna have to improvise a lot on Sunday with some of these young guys that's coming in, and you got to let them play because I got to give it to Calais Campbell. No, he almost had his 100 sack, but what he did, if I don't know if anybody paid attention to that, Grady and Calais Campbell kept the linebackers clean. Now, everybody was saying, oh, they didn't get involved. No, on the stat sheet, they weren't involved like that. They made a few tackles, but how can I put it? Their impact was felt once they settled in and they figured out how to clog up those running lanes that we were getting caught on with the traps and counters. When they figured that out, if you notice, they had to run to the outside, and that's when those young guys started to eat.
Oh yeah.
So So I think with this, I think with Troy Anderson being out, this gives another guy a chance to get up in there and get his stuff right. But but hey, we will find out on Sunday. So we definitely appreciate you guys for coming through tonight. My man K Dub, Meltdown. Then we got Glenn, better known as Graybeard. He's out here getting this thing in and whatnot. So we definitely appreciate you guys for coming through and checking us out. Check us out on Sunday. We're definitely going to be in a position to where we are going to let you guys come in and talk about the game. We plan on having a party line at the benediction. So check us out Sunday after the game, halftime analysis. I want to thank y'all again for coming through. The magnificent Birdcage crew that's behind stage. You already know who you are. Turbo, Coach Brant. We got our man Scoop, always aka the Black Wall Street, and then we got the First Lady Bree in the back. But like I said, we're gonna keep this thing moving. We'll see you guys Sunday. Y'all be easy. We'll catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.
Peace.